Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Strip with head coach Pat Narduzzi. Coach, let's continue on with our discussion of the game, the victory over Delaware before we move on to Duke. And a couple of guys I wanted to ask you about along that defensive line that continues to put up great numbers and great performances. Habs Baldonado comes up with a sack and a half. We talked about his initial sack of the year. This is a guy with a great story. He came from Rome. I think he played 1 year of high school football, and now he's out there making plays for you. Can you tell us a little bit about Habs Baldonado?
You know, Habs played well. He's a tough kid. He's coming off an injury. Last fall, got hurt, really had a hard time getting back, but he's been outstanding for us, and I know Coach Partridge is really happy with him.
How about Amir Watts? He was a guy that you sort of singled out as a guy who really played a good ball game.
Amir's a guy that's got a great motor. He's got great athletic ability. He may have played his best football game here as a Panther. He was impressive. And when you talk about guys getting up, or maybe we didn't come out, some guys didn't get fired up, that guy was cranked up and played one of his better games.
Are you happy with the way the defensive front has been playing?
Well, no question about it. I think when you're playing good defense, your front better play well. You know, we've had great pressure on the quarterback all year. We've had some coverage sacks in the back end, but it starts up front. And if you don't have a front four that can cause havoc in the backfield, then it makes it tough on the entire defense.
The schedule flips a little bit here. You're 3-2. You've played an extremely difficult schedule. Now you go entirely into ACC play. Does it feel a little bit like a second season or a new season starting now?
I'll say that second season starts after Duke. We're still in the first half here right now. This will be game 6, which really, the first really half of the season will be over, and then we get a little bit of a break before we head to Syracuse. So I'll say that second half starts after this week. We'll get a little breather. We'll have a chance to maybe get fully healthy after that week.
You've played so many young players, have so many young guys contributing on the team, something we've also talked about throughout the course of the year. For many of them who are going to be contributing, maybe they've been on a team plane flying down for an ACC game, but for a lot of them, this is going to be the first time primetime matchup, Saturday night. Do you have to talk to them any differently? What's that experience going to be like for them to go through that for the first time?
Well, this is our second ACC game at night, so we played one at home, and this one will be on the road. So I think it's more of going, being a road warrior this week and learn how to jump on an airplane and as a business trip, flying down to play Duke. I think that's going to be the biggest difference for this young football team.
You're playing a Duke team that it's funny to say because a decade ago, 2 decades ago, they were not very good. David Cutcliffe's done an unbelievable job. They've gone to bowl games the last 2 years, 6 out of the last 7 years. There does seem to be something about playing a team that expects to win, and Duke is a team that expects to win every time they take the field.
They really do. They're playing with great confidence right now. Coach Cutcliffe's built a great culture down there. They're doing a great job recruiting. They've got players. It's not they're doing it just with scheme. They got players. They got a great scheme on all 3 phases of their game, and I couldn't say better things about Dave Cutcliffe and what he is.
When you lose a quarterback like Daniel Jones, first-round pick, now you have to replace him with Quentin Harris. Boy, you look at Harris's numbers, and they look awfully good.
They really do, and he's hurting you with his feet as well as his arm. He's very accurate, doesn't make bad mistakes or bad decisions. He's the key to the offense, for sure.
Now, when a guy like that who can beat you with his feet and also gets rid of the ball quickly, you mentioned this in your weekly press conference, just 1 sack. That's all Duke's given up. And keep in mind, they opened up with Alabama. They've won 3 straight. They're throwing the ball a ton. They're scoring 40 points a game in those 3 victories, over 40 points per game. Is there any kind of worry that that defensive line will get a little frustrated, that it's hard? And do you change what you would describe as a job well done? Now, sometimes maybe you look at sacks, but it's going to be hard to sack this guy.
It's going to be real hard to sack him. They get the ball out so quickly. In their pass game, the quarterback's making good decisions. They give him easy reads as far as what he has to do, and he takes advantage of it. So I hope the D-line doesn't get frustrated. If we get 2, we've maxed it out. We get 2 sacks. If we get none, it doesn't matter. Let's win the football game.
Take us inside coaching those guys up, what you would do. I mean, do you tell them, hey, look, get your arms up earlier? Or, are there different little nuances that they, as a unit, have to do prior to this game? Or do you just say, hey, keep playing the way you're playing?
I think it's keep playing the way you're playing. We're trying to get our hands up at times as well, with knowing where the ball's coming out and what formation they're in based on things they'd like to do. But it's just a matter of, playing football.
Going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Coach, thanks very much.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
And thanks to you for watching this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script.